What's up? It's your boy Ing Vendetta. Music, Lost Liquid Park. We love it. It's gonna be on repeat since this morning. This is gonna be a mukbang. Thanks, Mom, for bringing me this. Mom, she just heard I reached 5,000 on TikTok. We celebrated with a house tour. I thought I was gonna be more personal with you guys. Today we're gonna be eating some KFC. I kind of grew up with KFC, so one of my favorite food. We got some macaroni. I didn't get something to drink. I was gonna drink brisk iced tea, right? But we went to open the brisk and we opened up a can of Monster instead. So I have to have a Monster at 12:30 at night. Delicious. So how you guys doing? You guys are doing well. When I have this, whoa. Me too. Sorry, I had to hide something. Let's go. We should be a-okay for sure. Today I see my mom again. Oh wow. Mmm. 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 Fried chicken is really hard to beat. You know? Mmm. I'm gonna eat the bone. Mm-hmm. No, I'm super hungry. Mmm. I'm sorry. I haven't filmed. Oh, fuck. It's warm. Mmm. I haven't filmed the mukbang in months. Right? And I've been listening to a lot of Nico Carlo lately. But like it or not, the guy's a fucking train wreck, right? We're humans, so we want to see a car burn. Well, Mikado, I'm an old school Mikado, right? It was always talking about so much stuff like veganism. He was talking about his own relationship. He was talking about his relationship with family. It was like a talking show, but with eating. You know? Dude. I understand that he's some fucked up shit. I understand that he's a mother. He's pretty hated in the community. And, you know, I think we all make mistakes. I'm not trying to defend anybody here. Fucking KFC, like my daddy. But it's more about the hustle. I'm saying avocado, and motivational. The guy, he posted for how many years? 2 mukbangs a day, and he was talking. So you need orations here, right? You need to be motivated to learn every day. That's not easy. And it's somehow inspiring because I love food, right? We love to talk. Look at this shit. We're having 18 pieces. What I wanted to do was do one mukbang today, one tomorrow. Skin. Wow. You know, my mom bought me this because, and yeah, I love that. And I think it's my intention that counts. You know? I wish I was close to my mom. Because with my father, okay, so here's the whole story. We will talk, right? So, my mom is an amazing woman. I fucking love her, but she was an immigrant, right? And we had a cool system here that she didn't really understand, which was bullshit. They say because, oh, you coming from another country, that's why the system is so different. The educational system is so different. No, that's not it. My mom, I'm 30 years old. My mom, she's 65. You know? And in 35 years, their educational system changed. But everything in life happened for a reason. Everything in life. You know? My father, he had the not parenthood. How do you call it? He became my legal guardian. I do know my dad. I think he's one of my best friends. In this way, I'll shoot him out. More like my father because he raised me. If you see my father, we act in a very similar way. My father also liked to talk. And we're very similar. For example, the videos. On YouTube. Lately, I've been doing more video with you guys, more real life. We didn't stream, you know? At the end of the day, YouTube is something that's really my passion, right? But I don't want to be like only a streamer. I want to be able to do multiple type of videos. I want to be able to do normal type video. I want to be able to do vlog. I want to have a family in YouTube. You know? It's insane because at first I wasn't down to do that. I wasn't down to, you know? YouTube was something I wanted to do much younger. Like 15 to 16 to 18. I wanted to do YouTube, but I had nothing to say. I had self-confidence issue, and I know I was young. I think I was missing maturity. You know, I didn't have a lot to bring to the table. You know, I started getting bullied. And at 26, I started listening to a bunch of YouTube, bunch of Twitch. That was my only escape, right? At 28, I discovered Twitch. So it was more for game. So I could game. I wasn't, again, I had a problem with self-confidence. But I was gaming every day. I'm still gaming every day. So I stream about 5 hours, 6 hours a day. And I would game 5 or 6 hours a day. I had no social life. I was like, you know what? Just do it. And just do it. And then I started meeting some new people. But all in all, the friend I made, you guys, it's insane. 2 years ago when I started, and I had a good job. I had a really good job where I loved what I was doing. I was getting a good salary. I loved the place I was working at. Right? The bullying was under control, and it was a good time. So then I left listening to music. Without a lot of music at work anymore, I'm getting really, really depressed. You know? So I started looking for something else. Another job. Another point. But after a couple of months, I realized that I'm already doing what I want. You know, I can stream for how many 24-hour stream that I do, right? What is the piece I had? Okay. I don't know. And I have fun. It's something I want to do, and it's crazy because when I did that, it was more like a, I think it's an escape, right? My virtual escape, which is to this day, in my opinion, one of the best production on YouTube. Yeah, there's another production, but this is basically a series that the YouTuber did. It was years ago, and I think it aged greatly. It's still something I'm watching like once a year. It's about 20 hours. But like this to say, like it was an escape, and because of you guys, I started thinking about a job because I had this lack of self confidence. I had this lack of self love, and my relationship with you guys, my relationship with people I met. I was like, okay, well, this is my these are my people. These are gamer. These are people that are interested by anime. I'm meeting a lot of anime fan. I'm meeting a lot of people who fuck with the same movie I fuck with, you know. And in that, I found sense of community. I'm very how can I say that? I'm very self dependent, self sufficient, right? I like to be alone a lot. I can be alone for months, right? But I understand that. So, even in the past, I've been alone for months, and I understand that at a certain point, when you're alone too much, it hurts you mentally. Like, for example, I was 28 years old, and although I was a functioning human, although I knew everything I had to know because I watched movies, I watched shows, I'm smart because I watch a lot of videos online, and that makes you evolve. I didn't have the social skill that I should have. So, for example, I was getting bullied by someone, right? Apologies again. It's all a rumble mess, but I had friends, really good friends, who were making jokes with me, and I was putting them in the same. They were making jokes like, you slow," and you know, I was getting mad at them, but they were my friend, and I was getting mad at them because I was getting bullied, and I put them in the same boat as a bully. And again, I thank you so much for Junior. Well, Junior was one of my best friend. He really taught me so much. He really taught me to be a better person. Shao Batista. One of my really, really fucking good friend. A really good friend. He's amazing. When I had my 2 years on Twitch, he was the one that brought the food, and they taught me to be more socially adept. But the problem is when you what it taught me, I would have learned if I wasn't alone. So I'm watching. I want to be streaming, but I know that if I'm doing it alone, if I'm staying alone, because I'm the kind of guy that can stay alone, that even not gonna realize the time. We've been out of work for 2 months, and it passed like that. So I'm the kind of guy who can stay alone, and I'm afraid of that. So I was like, okay, well, this could be your dream, but this is a job that you're gonna say adept. And yes, this is my dream. YouTube is my dream, but I also want to have a family. To have a family, you have to be a good father. You have to be a good husband. All right. I'm thinking I need to go out, and then we start. Because I got so confident, because yeah, because we have so many friendship on here, I started to get confidence. I started to get really, really confident, and I was like, well, maybe I can do a couple of YouTube videos. Actually, a year and a half on Christmas, I did a face reveal. Right, something I never wanted to do. And something I'm really proud of it. Something I'm really happy I did because it opened up a door for a lot of content. Means less. There's so much. It's so limited. When I stay for so long, oh, I was called ugly a lot as a kid. Ugly duckling. My best looking guy now. But I'm seeing people that are really, really successful, and they're not nice looking person. And that could be me, you know. If after 3 years, am I where I want to be? No, but at the same time, we did a event yesterday. One self promotion. And having a certain amount of views because you feel like you're worth, you feel like you deserve. And that's an awful mentality to have. So at 3 years, yes, I'm not where I want to be, but I understand that it's normal. You know, we all have a pace. My pace is different. In the perfect world, I'm inside the job. You know? I'm gonna leave work. And I'm gonna have 11 months of unemployment. I got money saved up. And I calculated. I can do I can do so how many pieces do I have? I want to do 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Make away. We're gonna do one last piece because I'm gonna get the barrel and I think it's finished. Yeah. You do one more piece and we're good. You know, I was talking about self. You believe that you deserve. I have some money saved up. I made some calculation and we're able to survive outside about a year and a half. So for the year and a half, I don't have to work. Well, I could do two things, right? I could do. I could do like a shame. I'm gonna really, really hustle. If it doesn't work, I don't know what to do. But you know, and yeah, I was talking about my mom with that, you know, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. My father, I love him, but I'm not a good listener. He's very what? Yeah, I know what I like to talk. My father, he likes to talk, but I don't. It's complicated. So it's really fucking complicated, right? My father and I, we had the same problem. We both love to talk too much. And a couple of years ago, I had a problem when I need to talk. You know, I would come in the Monday morning and I hadn't talked to anybody in the weekend, so I would over talk a lot. You know. And then I have you guys, chicken skin. Talking about South Park and eating the skin of the chicken, right? I would talk a lot. So by streaming, I got to talk to people. By streaming, I got to chicken to get this fix of talking. I was very outgoing, right? A lot more than that right now. But another that me being outgoing was directly related to me having nobody to talk with. Now I'm less outgoing because I got you guys to talk with, and it's kind of crazy because on the bad side out. What is the right amount of outgoing? What is the right amount of talking? What is the right amount of? I think it's different from every person, and I think it's different from every person that listens. Right? My father talks a lot because he's retired, and is my stepmom. I never really liked her. She's kind, but she's very negative and she's very rude. A lot of time, really often, she's really rude. Like my father, phone was broken yesterday, and she texted me to warn me, "Hey, your father's phone is not working." So I said, "Okay, thank you so much. How are you?" And she answered like, "Good, not good. How are you?" She said, "Good, thank you." She said, "Just good." She didn't want to talk, and I can respect that. You have to respect the fact that people are not necessarily going to be willing to talk, going to be willing to have a conversation with you. That's part of life. That's natural. Um, but it goes to show. You have to tell me a question. Did she want to talk to me because I'm boring? Just my father. I think that her not being the best listener and him being retired. He retired like 2 years ago. I feel like it feels alone, and my father is very old school. Like if he's dealing with shit, he's not gonna tell anybody about it, and that's still flaw. Like he feels alone. He doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't talk to his girlfriend. We have a neighbor. So, um, my father, my father is really somebody. My mom and my father is very different. My father is a guy of habits, and I think I'm more a guy of habit. My father has been living in the same house for 22 years, right? I've been living in the same apartment for 10 years. I like a routine. My father had the same neighbor. They became friends with those neighbors, and it's kind of crazy because when my father bought the house, it's that's an amazing story. My father bought the house. He was 28 with my mom. They both bought the house. It is really warm. So they both bought the house, and since they were together, they were younger. So the neighbors, my neighbors growing up were amazing. One of my neighbors had a grandson that became really close. We became really fucking close. Shout out to Jan Levin. My other neighbors, they were like fucking uncle growing up. We would really talk. We would talk every day, and I remember the woman, sorry, when I had my prom, she was crying. And my father said, "Why are you crying?" Because my father is fucking rude. My father is fucking rude. He doesn't understand that it's rude. He's just very non-filter. He's like me, So he's like, "Why are you crying?" And she's like, "Well, I've seen it grow up, and they grow up so fast." And it's sweet. So my father's really a man of habit. So he has a neighbor who went to like a supper, and his supper is super important to him. And every time his supper is once like a month. They have like a good food. They have a bingo. And every time he goes there, he complains that the food is not good. He complains that it's boring. So he's been going there for 3 years. So if it was that boring, why did you go there for 3 years? And I was thinking about it, thinking. And I realized that because it's one of his only social outing. And you cannot help but see your parents. Cannot help but see your parents and realize that this is life. Cannot help but see your parents and saying, this one is gonna be me, right? Right, like right now, for example, right now, I listened to Linkin Park Lost for about since the stream started, and my father is the same. He's gonna listen to the same music. My mom, she's very different though. It's kind of nuts because it's the life is fucking crazy, right? So the person I am right now, the people that you guys love, the person that you guys come to see, right? I wouldn't be the same if it was a week at my dad's house and a week at my mom. Would I be? There's always this question of would I be a better person? Would I be a worse person? You never know. You never know until it happens, and it's never gonna happen because I'm 30 years old. I've already grown. My mom, she's very soft spoken. She's very kind. She always worry. Like if you want to eat with my mom, she won't eat until you're served. She won't eat. She'll get up because she thinks that you need more food. You know, my mom, she likes to overdo things. She likes to overdo it for people, and to a certain extent, I understand that. But you know, it's harder to talk to her because since she's so busy to she's so busy to serve people, she can't have a conversation. So she sacrificed herself, and how to have a conversation with someone that sacrifices themselves because you're like, oh, you're not there, right? And I think like today I saw my mom. I saw my mom for the first time in 4 months, and we talk like almost every day, and it felt good. I wish I was close to my mom because you know it goes again. Life is so much, it's so crazy. And I go back to me being able to be on my own, be able to be alone. My mom, she likes to go out. You know, if I wasn't capable of being on my own, I'm gonna call my father once a week. I'm gonna call my mom once a week. I'm gonna talk to you guys, and that's it. You know, but even if I didn't talk to you guys, then I'd be able to. Maybe I would call them 2 times a week. You know, but all of that to say, I got self dependent. My mom, she's not self dependent, so it's hard to talk to her because she it feels like it's such a conversation where we haven't each other for years, but it's been a couple of weeks, you know. But my mom, she's a better listener. She's so fucking kind, you know. She's with this guy. My mom, she taught me more about life than in a couple of and in such a short time she got taught me a lot about life. She's going out with a guy, and that guy, he's not the nicest, he's not the kindest. He put his hands on me. We physically fought. You know, I think I had like 4 fights in my whole life, in the entire life. One of them was with my stepfather. You know, and he treats her like, he doesn't treat her good. He doesn't treat her like she deserves to be treated. And I asked her, "What are you doing with him?" And she told me, "Well, at my age, you know, I don't really have a choice." And I think that this is perfectly dandy. This is perfectly fine, but I feel like you're limiting yourself because you don't think you can do better. And if you don't think that you can do better, people are obsessed with doing better, with improving, and that's cool. You know, I believe it's important to improve. I believe it's important to evolve in life. People are so fucking obsessed with, oh, yesterday I did this, I'm gonna do this even better today. But you don't need to constantly evolve. Like, you have to understand that you can be grateful, you can be satisfied in life. You know, when you put your expectation high, that's when you get disappointed. And although, for example, right now, I could think, hey, I should be doing better, and I'm trying to improve. I am trying to improve to you guys, but I understand that I'm very grateful for what I already have. If I had higher expectation, maybe I would be disappointed, and then if I'm disappointed, I would quit. Right? There's often a time when I wanted to quit Twitch and YouTube, and most of those times, the only reason why I stayed is because you're gonna game anyway, so fucking record it, right? And now I'm seeing my YouTube channel, and we put every stream, we put every Twitch clip. We have a playlist of clips of shorts, that are more than 5,000, right? I got over 1,300 stream done. Another early stuff, all the weight watching stuff, all the mukbang right now, unreleased. I'm gonna release them when I feel more comfortable with myself, you know, because so this is a good trick for you guys. Since I don't feel that comfortable with myself, I don't feel like filming a mukbang. I don't think I'm interesting, but at the same time, I'm like, well, if you don't film now, it's this time you lose, right? So I'm the kind of guy that says every content is content. Doesn't mean to be good content. And let me clarify that. I believe that some people are very talented, and no matter what they touch is gonna be gold. They're gonna be you're gonna be able to turn a good video out of anything. I saw a video on YouTube the other day, and they were talking about the title is the exact number of times this video was watched, and it's a bot that automatically update the name every time somebody watches a video, right? And it's cool. It's a cool story. It's a really cool story. It's unique. But what about the person? For example, I'm thinking about Filthy Frank. Filthy Frank, who basically did a show with a couple of costumes. With a couple of costumes, he did an entire show, and this is etymology of YouTube. You know, I'm thinking about McJugger Nuggets, who did a video with his father, and he became like so fucking famous. thinking about kid behind the camera who did video with Angry Grandpa, rest in peace, and they did so much with little. So I'm seeing people like, for example, FusiTube. I was seeing people like Rice Gum. I was seeing people like Facebook like Yogan Paul. They're doing so extra shit. And those people like, they hate them or not, they made some great videos, right? They were the king of YouTube back in the days, and you have to ask yourself, are they king of the YouTube because they made so splendid video? For example, buy a Lamborghini. You know, who in their life is gonna buy a Lamborghini, right? And not a lot of people. Or did they get famous because they were entertaining? And then ask yourself, well, am I ever gonna be that entertaining? You know. So it's really hard to be able to say, listen, I'm gonna film a mukbang and I'm gonna be the most interesting mukbang I ever saw. This mukbang I'm doing right now is probably shit. Probably shit. I'm gonna be looking back at this in 7, 8 years. I'm gonna be like, hey, fuck. I used to be so bad, you know. But I think it's important to do, even if I'm not confident with the way I look. I'm overweighted, and I know I'm eating KFC chicken, and it's not good for being overweighted. But at the same time, you know, I believe that even if I do watch that, right, I'm seeing this as a archive. I want to do this because, first of all, I have to film to improve. Second of all, I want to see those videos of my kids one day and say, listen, that's your dad. My mom, my father, he has a big mouth. He can talk about he has a good memory, so he can talk about his life a lot. But if you ask him about if you ask him, fuck, it makes me sad to say this, but if you ask my mom about her life, she self-sacrificed so much that personally in her life she hasn't lived much. She hasn't been through, well, she's been through a lot, but she hasn't experienced a lot because she sacrificed herself for others. And my father, if you look at my father, he's very selfish. At first glance, he's very selfish, but then you understand that he treats his son. My dad, he treats me very, very well. Growing up, I fucking hated my dad. My dad was violent. He would hit me because, okay, so we're going back a long time ago. I would have hurt myself because I didn't listen, right? And then the hospital, they said, well, you're gonna lose your son. So my father was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna lose my son. If I have to be a bad guy, I'm gonna be a bad guy. And to this day, my dad's my fucking hero, because and I know this is such a crazy fucking concept to have. I know it's so crazy that it's hard to wrap your brain around that. My dad's my hero because he beat me up when I was a kid. So that taken out of context is fucking crazy. But if you're asking me, he didn't want to beat me. There was a lot of night where he cried. He made a sacrifice. He made himself a villain, so I would have a good life. He was able to sacrifice his relationship with me, and I don't have sisters, I don't have brothers. So basically, you go from being a father to a kid who doesn't talk to you, and he did all of that for me to grow up, you know. And I think that takes balls. I think that takes guts. I think that takes bravado. Was it the best way? No, but at the end of the day, people are gonna remember results. People are gonna be remembering results. I'm seeing a lot of again. This is welcome to ADHD, right? I'm seeing a lot of video lately of a challenge with a ascent. You start from ascent and you go from ascent to very valuable. I've been watching this guy, Pokemon. I wish I could give you the shout out, but he's doing a Pokemon challenge and he's trading card up, and now he has like a 2,500 card, which is not a lot. But when you understand that he started with a 1 cent, that's 2,000. Whoa, that's a 250,000. Am I good at math at all? 225 and 50,000% upgrade. I'm sure. It took a time, but by that time he was filming. He was making money out of the videos. It was his business, right? And to an extent, I'm seeing this, and it's a hard to. You see, that person, although I love their content, nobody's gonna remember. I have to remember where I was going with this because I'm fucking a scramble, you know. All that was to say, you remember that the guy started with 1 cent. You remember what he handed with. You remember the big trade, like the big trade up, but you don't remember every trade. So, my father being like that is you don't really remember every time he fucking give you shit, you know. But you do remember that There's a time where he gave you a lot of shit. There's a time where he was nicer, and now there's and today we have a close relationship. So, my father can go from a villain to a hero, and I believe all of this is to say I believe I can make good content because even my content is shit right now, and we're talking about those YouTubers that were doing amazing video. They were putting a lot of a lot of money in the video compared to other YouTubers who put a little money. You know, for example, I'm thinking about PewDiePie. PewDiePie. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, PewDiePie changed," right? But there's this PewDiePie change. There's this classical thing, right? And maybe I'm wrong. I don't fucking know. But PewDiePie started with very little money, right? And he had a dream, he had inspiration, right? And at the aspiration, he got rich, and right now he's living a life of lavish things. And he's like, yo, I can buy what I want because I have the money now. A lot of people say, yo, you changed, you stop being humble. No, motherfucker. This guy had nothing, now he has something. For example, you see a lot of people with daddy issue, with mommy issues. And they're acting differently against... so let's say a girl has daddy issue. No. Let's say a guy has mommy issue. He's going to act a certain way with an older woman because in his life he's missed that. So there's this evolution of the mindset of I wasn't able to do something I wanted to do. Now I'm able to do it, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't want people to misjudge me. There's a point where you have to say fuck what people think, right? Fuck what people think, and it's so important because the situation I'm in right now, the depression I'm in right now, is work related. And if I wasn't the guy in the guy that says I worry about what people think about me, so the perfect example, this video I'm gonna do right now. I'm doing it on the night we live on the 10th of July 2023, and I'm not gonna release it until December, probably December, right? Oh, sorry, it's so good. And I'm not gonna release it before December, and the reason, of course, I said because I'm not comfortable with how I look. I'm not comfortable with sharing this right now because I cannot deal with it, you know. But there's also people. There's also people. Also people judging me. You know, I'm afraid. I'm very afraid of that. I got mad at a friend for self-promoting about 2 weeks ago. I was depressed and he was self-promoting and said, "Yo, you don't have any respect for me. I'm depressed and you're doing this." But there's always multiple things. There's always a question of perception. So maybe the guy I'm burning so much calorie by taking it right now. The guy, yes, he self-promoted. Yes, I understand that, but maybe he has self-confidence issue. So there's this classical psychological thing that's called fight or flight. So when faced with a situation, are you gonna fight or flight? Are you gonna fight a battle or are you gonna fight from the battle? And to a certain extent, I think that this is a concept that can be applied. So me, by lacking self-confidence, I'm gonna underdo things. I'm gonna do things very low key. This video might never see the light of day. I have no clue. What the future is gonna bring. But I understand that if I was self-confident, if I had confidence, I would post this video no matter how I fucking look, you know. And I underdo things because I have self-confidence issues, and that self-confidence issues are related with being told I'm not good enough, and that's fine. That's fine. This is a flight technique. This is a flight. You tell me I'm not good enough, I'm gonna make myself as small as possible, and I'm gonna be very self-guarding. I'm gonna have my guard up because I believe that you might be right. Maybe you're right. Who knows? And we got this. And this guy that's self-promoting, maybe it comes from a lack of self-confidence, and maybe his direct response to his lack of self-confidence is related to a fight technique. So, for example, he's convinced himself that he's not good enough, so he constantly overdo it because he's like, yo, it might not be good enough, but I'm gonna fucking fight because that's all I have, right? And again, I gave him shit, but you can't really give shit to somebody who doesn't understand that they're doing this wrong, and you can't give shit to somebody who has a natural reaction. People are gonna be saying horrible stuff. For example, my father. I'm going back to my father. My mom. they're both gonna say hurtful shit, you know, and it's a question of fight. It's a question of a self-reflection. You can't be mad at somebody for self-reflection. You can't be mad at somebody for the way they feel. For example, if somebody is a homophobic racism, right? That's perception. That is perception. That is their mindset, right? But you can't be mad at a girl or a guy who fucks too much, right? There's a difference between them being okay. Let's put it back together. There's a difference between somebody that fucks too much that's single, right? That is single. I'm gonna tell you an example after, right? And there's a difference between a person that fucks too much and a person that is in a relationship that fucks too much who's cheating. And people are quick to put them in the same boat. Oh, you're a slut, you're a fucking player, you're douchebag because you cheat, you sleep a lot, right? But it's a self response to the kind of love we're feeling. Maybe we love sex, maybe we love the feeling it gives us, and by loving the feeling it gives us, we're able to continue this. We're able to we pursue this because this is something that makes us feel good. For example, I know a lot of people that are using coitus, like sex. They're using it as a coping mechanism for being sad. They feel alive. They feel like it's a release, a physical relief to emotional problem, right? I have this friend, and this I'm not gonna say her name because she's one of my best friends, right? And she's really pretty. She's really fucking pretty, and she's receiving a lot of dick pic. So she's receiving a lot of dick pic, and I feel so fucking bad for her. I think first of all, sending dick pics, if it's your girlfriend or just ask, fine, go ahead. Who gives a fuck, right? But her, she knows that she's pretty. She just has a confidence, not confidence problem. She just have trust issues, right? And she's very very sexual. She's very sexual because me and her were close, and we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be very sexual with each other. We're gonna be flirting. We traded news, you know, and a couple of weeks ago, she released a story about I don't fucking care about your dick pic, right? And then I asked her, do you want me to stop sending you nudes? And she was like, no. But her story and what she sent was different. And then I was like, okay, well, I got uncomfortable because I didn't understand why she would do a story if we're being sexual. And then I understood that we're being sexual not because I'm different, it's because she trusts me, you know? And because she trusts me, we're able to have this sexual relationship. And this is good because you understand that those. It sucks because it really sucks because those people that have those impulses, they like being sexual. They have those impulses to be themselves. They have to stop themselves from being too sexual because then the people are gonna take advantage of it, right? So I was watching Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan, he had a guest who was a hacker. He's very popular right now, and they were doing a stream where the hacker, he was fighting. He was at first he was stealing information. He was getting rich, and then he started feeling bad. So what he decided he did, I haven't hate in like 40 minutes. He decided that what he wanted to do, he wanted to catch pedophiles, right? So he started catching pedophiles, and people are saying, "Oh, he's breaking confidence." Yeah, but he's doing good, you know. There's always this. The line between immoral and moral is very very thin, very thin. I was talking with my shrink. And all my life, I've seen good versus evil. As somebody that was addicted to manga, as somebody that was very lack of self-confidence, you're always asking yourself, am I a good guy, am I a bad guy? And you're self-doubting because you don't have self-confidence. So all my life, the reason why I created Inky and Vendetta was because Inky, oh my god. We're going deep today. The reason why I created Inky and Vendetta, Inky was supposed to be me, and Vendetta was supposed to be the guy I wanted to be, the guy who would get bullied at work, right? And it sucks because I feel like if I'm Vendetta too much, people are gonna say, "Oh, he's a dick." Then I feel like if I'm being Inky too much, people are gonna say he's weak. However, I can be Ink Vendetta. Ink Vendetta is a mix between being too weak and being too rude. So you could say, oh, you're perfect balance. There's no such thing as a perfect balance. I'm always going to be more Inky or more Vendetta, depending on the situation. And I'm always going to be crossing a line of saying he's weak or he's... So even when I'm trying to be both, even when I'm trying to be like a righteous middle, I'm not going to be able to. And it goes to show you that if a lot of people say that if everybody says that you're a bad guy, if you're fighting with at work, right? If you're fighting at work and everybody fights with you, and the problem comes from you, right? And it's a hard thing to realize. It's a hard thing to come to grip with. It's a hard thing to be like, hey, I'm the issue here. Not because being an issue is automatically bad, but more so because you're doing self-introspection. Like, what have I done wrong? And what have I done wrong? Some of this thought of how long have I been doing this wrong? And with those two, then start questioning your own action. You know, another time I could have done something. It goes back to flirting. A lot of one of the worst story I ever had, right? So I was working in AW, and there was this fucking girl, bro. It was really pretty. Oh my god. And she fell in love with me. She was out of my league. She would want me to text her every single day when I finished work. I would finish work at 1 o'clock in the morning. And she would still answer. And you can tell she was sleeping. But she'd still wake up to say hi. And so she got drunk at a party. She got drunk. Right? She got drunk at a party, and one of the co-worker, it was kind of grape. He fingered her. And she didn't say no, but she did say yes. You know? Like, holy shit. And the guy was bragging about it at work. But I told you, she's very hot. You know? And she took the time to tell me, hey, I don't like him. She didn't say I like you, but she said I don't like him. Anybody else, she didn't care about how they felt about her. You know? I'm like, kind of bullshit. And the only reason why I didn't make a move was because I had this thought of there's no way a pretty girl like that gonna be attracted to little me. I never gave myself a chance because self-doubt took over. You understand that? So it's sad because you always just have this feeling that, well, for example, a lot of people will say, hey, myself included, I just thought about that. I'm just talking. It's not your fault you wear. You have lack of self-confidence, right? But although it's not my fault I have self-confidence issue, it is my fault because I didn't take her feeling in perception. If she liked me and I wasn't answering, imagine if you like a guy and he's not giving you a sign that he likes you back, right? But he likes you back. I gotta be honest, bro. I fell in love with her. I loved her and she loved me. It would have been a good relationship. It doesn't even matter if it was a good relationship. It could have been. It doesn't even matter how long you're with the person. It matters how that you made the sacrifice, you made the effort. It's one of my biggest regrets. It's funny because when I think about this, this is macaroni salad. I fucking love this. It's funny because when I think about this incident, when I like about the time where could I have a girlfriend? Right? It's not more so about the relationship I could have had. It's more so about them. The fact that I didn't take a chance. The fact that I didn't try. And at the very end of the day, self-confidence or not, I didn't try. The worst, I had this really good friend, really, really good friend. And we were good friends. His best friend was the girl I liked. And then along, we became like brothers. You know? And later I learned that the only reason he gave me a chance as a friend, because I'll be fucking honest, I'm a horrible friend. I'm getting better, but I'm a horrible friend. I don't understand social clues. You know, I feel very uncomfortable if I'm introduced to a group of friends. I'm very uncomfortable. So if my friend wants to chill with me, it has to be one on one, and that is not fair because I'm forcing to make a sacrifice, and that is not fair. You shouldn't do a sacrifice because you want to. It's a question of preference. Is that I don't have social. Maybe I do. I have social anxiety, but you're making them the sacrifice. It's it's a shame because I'm not a great fan. And before that, at the beginning of the video, I said something about me being immature, socially immature for my age. And when I was working at A&W, that was 9 years ago, so I was much worse. You know? So I didn't realize that the only reason he gave me a 10 was because his best friend liked me. You know? So it's such a shame. Such a shame. Now, we got a situation where I'm like, well, I want a friend. It's took me so long. I'm 30 years old. And it took me 28 years to question one thing. My good friend. You know? I never blame other people for not being loyal. Because you are the best, a good friend. For example, I had a friend who helped me move. I have a friend who sacrificed everything for me. And we're not talking anymore. And sure, you could say, well, the guy has a girlfriend, he lives far. Distance separated us, but I can't help but think that maybe the reason why I know this great friend is because I didn't treat him right, right? It's a question that you should ask yourself. Am I treating my friend nice? If I'm not, then why am I not treating them the way they deserve to be treated? And it's awful. Self-reflection is awful because, again, it's So, for example, if you have a problem with somebody, right, and you have a fight, you can ask a simple question: why are you mad at me? Why am I mad? You can say, "I'm mad at you." Why are you mad at me, him? And you could say, "This is why I'm mad at you." From me to you. But if you're doing self-introspection, it's very simple to be a self-denial. It's very my one illusion. See, we're talking about the same thing. It's very easy to say, look, are you wrong? But if I'm asking myself, am I wrong? How am I supposed to answer correctly? I'm gonna give myself the answer I know I want. Because subconsciously, there's always this desire to make me feel better. It's very hard to say, hey, you treat this person like shit, because then you're asking yourself, why did I do that? And it's so much easier to say, hey, they're the problem, right? But I think the exercise is important to do. I'm fucking full. I think the exercise is so important to do. To say, hey, this is why I'm acting like that, right? So that being said, I know I've talked a lot today. Know that I love you, and I'm gonna do the part 2 tomorrow. We're gonna have this amount of chicken left, and I'm gonna be eating another macaroni salad. Sorry, I'm cutting this bit because I know myself. If I keep going, I'm gonna be here in 3 hours, and tomorrow I'm gonna have a mukbang. I know myself. If I keep talking, I won't stop, right? And then tomorrow I'm gonna be in a position where I've talked for hours and hours, and tomorrow I have nothing to say. So we'll keep some for tomorrow. I love you. I probably will never post this, but if I do, thanks for watching.